Morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, April 25th, 7:45 a.m., 2023. All right, guys, we are officially in the closing days of the fourth month of the year, guys. We are officially one quarter of the way through 2023. And it's been a hell of a year in both my life and in the world, guys. So, want to start with a resounding, nearly unanimous observation slash what I'm hearing at every pro-trans event, for lack of a better word. Be it a mass shooting, a protest, small riot, this seems to be the going or the running thought of these activists who act or are acting like they have no other recourse than what they're doing. The phrase is that trans people, we are wishing trans people harm and wishing them to be dead and things like that. And you know, a phrase like that is very dangerous. If remarks such as that were made towards a specific demographic, I would be remiss if I did not see the outrage that's actually happening. When you back an animal into a corner, they're going to lash out because they see no other recourse. And no, I'm not calling trans people animals. If there was a violent outpouring towards another demographic, we would see very similar responses. But to my knowledge, the only violence in the trans, not trans situation is one-sided. It's trans seemingly violently protecting their own existence. And violently or aggressively pushing their agenda, citing that the other side of the aisle against them wishes them death. Now, I, as a straight person, do not wish any harm towards a trans person. Nor do any people that I know of in the straight category towards the trans category. What we want is the same thing we've wanted from the LGBTQ community since the beginning of this LGBTQ apostrophe S ampersand thing. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But do it in the privacy of your own home. Straight people don't run around and flaunt sex all over the place on street corners and having parades that flaunt a sexuality? No. If you want to push a pride situation, be happy that you're gay. Don't ride around and, or walk around in BDSM, leathers, riding a 6-foot dong in the middle of the street. Don't force me to, to take part in your sexuality. I don't force you to take part in my sexuality. If this is a pushback against straight sex in movies and in cinema, then so be it. Create movies with your sexuality in it. Like the one that just flopped a few months ago. Unfortunately, guys, we don't want you dead. We just want you to turn down the volume and put your sexuality back in the bedroom where it needs to be. If you want brothels and stuff like that, keep the sexuality in the brothels and stuff like that. We don't need it in our face. That is what we do not want. We don't want you to not exist. We just don't want you on our, at our dinner tables. We don't want you, openly flaunting a sex act down our streets. Put it back in the bedroom where it's supposed to be. That is all. Now, that being said, you as trans people aggressively and violently pushing against a social norm, which is being, straight. We call it, trust me when I say it's a social norm, it's a social norm, because straight people, regardless of race, are the majority, and by leaps and bounds the majority. Your demographic as LGBTQ '(S) ampersand is but a fraction of anything, but you are just insanely loud. You're not pushing for rights. You're pushing for presumed privileges. You want the privilege of running around and committing, fornication and sex acts, simulated sex acts in public down our streets. You want the presumed privilege of, that you are being some kind of subjugated person. You're not. In my experience, homosexual customers of mine are some of my favorite. They are always prompt to pay, always happy to tip, and give the best Christmas presents during the holiday season. At least the gay men. Lesbian women, not so much. They tend to be overly critical of my service and tend to terminate my service over trivialities. But, que sera, sera, sera. But that is in my experience. My experience with trans is very limited. I do have a friend of the family who is trans, and it is he keeps his lifestyle to himself, so thankfully for that. But that's all I really wanted to say. Let's go, Brandon.